What if the miracle isn't in the healing, but in being trusted with a limp? That moment from The Chosen, where little James, when he asked Jesus, "You mean you're sending me out to heal others, but you haven't even healed me yet?" That moment is not just a powerful scene. It is a mirror for so many of us who are still carrying something unresolved. Have you ever thought about that? You want to know what Jesus says to him? He says, there are so many who can tell the story of being healed, but few are chosen to tell the story of believing without it. Wow. We don't teach this enough. We celebrate the end of pain, the miracle, the full circle moment. Yeah, that's great. But what about the ones who are still walking with something that they beg God to remove? Paul knew that feeling. In 2 Corinthians verse 12, he said that he pleaded with God 3 times to take away the thorn from his flesh, and God didn't. Why do you think that is? Because his grace was sufficient. Because his power was made perfect, not after weakness, but right in the middle of it. And here's the crazy part. Neuroscience agrees. When someone assigns meaning to suffering, the brain begins to rewire itself. That is called post-traumatic growth. It's when the prefrontal cortex, it activates. Dopamine starts to increase, and then the emotional center begins to stabilize. The pain doesn't magically just go away, but the brain starts to transform through it. Still, science can explain the how, but only faith can explain the why. Faith is what turns pain into purpose. Faith is what takes that limp and says, even if this never changes, I still trust the one who walks beside me. And here is my reflection. Maybe your limp isn't what's holding you back. Maybe it's what qualifies you. Maybe God didn't remove it because he's trusting you to carry it with grace, to preach a different kind of sermon, one the world needs more than ever, because people don't just need to see God in the healing. They need to see God in the middle of what hasn't been healed yet. So don't wait until you're quote unquote fixed to be faithful. If you are still showing up with a limp, if you're still believing, still loving, still serving, you are already walking in power. And I believe with everything in me that some of the greatest leaders, the greatest testimonies, the most impactful voices will be the ones who didn't get their resolution. But God was so faithful still, and they were faithful, and they walked with God anyways. You're not disqualified. You're not broken. You have been entrusted. And if God hasn't taken it away yet, he's using it. He's using it right now to shape you, to stretch someone else through it. Does that make sense? That limp might not be your weakness. It might just be your witness. Have an amazing day today, and we'll see you tomorrow.